Okay.
All right. Welcome, guys, to another webinar, our last webinar, and this one is on financial aid. I'm Maya, and I'll be attending Princeton next year to major in mathematics.
My name is Ayush, and I am going to be attending Brown University next year as a part of their program in liberal medical education, and I'm going to be majoring in computational neuroscience and applied math economics. All right, so in this webinar, we're going to be talking about multiple things. So the two main things we're going to be talking about is need-based financial aid and merit-based financial aid, and the process to go about getting these, which is filling out the FAFSA, school-specific applications, and the CSS profile.
Yeah, and here's a general timeline on how your financial aid application system is going to work out. So if you're applying early action, early decision, you'll generally have to fill out financial aid forms soon after you submit your applications for those decision platforms. So you'll most likely have to have all components of your financial aid application completed by around November, whereas your actual early application will be due, I think, around mid-October or early October, or maybe even early November. But generally, financial aid comes very soon after your undergraduate admissions application, and you'll need to kind of get all the things together that we'll talk about later on to fill out the different forms for need-based or merit-based financial aid. Then in December, you'll usually get your decision as to like how much you're awarded by the school for a grant, or just information from the FAFSA for your expected family contribution and those types of things. So you'll probably get all of that by November if you had submitted your information in November, and you'll get all of that by December. And then if you're doing regular decision financial aid, that deadline is generally in February, sometimes may extend into March. And then you'll get your decision on the total cost of attendance, any scholarships you get, things like that, in April.
All right, so need-based financial aid is the first thing we're going to be talking about. So there are three major types of need-based financial aid, and first one is federal student loans. So these are student loans that are managed by the government. And there are two types of these federal student loans. There is subsidized and unsubsidized. So a subsidized student loan is when you take the loan out and the interest on that loan only starts accruing after you graduate. So the first 4 years or however long you're in school, there's no interest on that loan. But as soon as you graduate, that interest starts accumulating. Versus unsubsidized loans, the interest starts accumulating as soon as you take that loan out. And based on your FAFSA and based on your financial situation, the government will tell you which type of loan you qualify for and how large of a loan that you can take out through them. So the next type of need-based financial aid is also sponsored by the government. They're federal grants. So this is need-based aid that does not need to be paid back. The government pretty much gives you this money because of your financial situation, and this is to subsidize your college expenses, and you don't need to pay this back to the federal government. The last type of need-based financial aid is work study. So this is usually done by the university that you're going to be attending. Once they look at your financial status, they'll give you a bunch of options about working while you're there. And these are usually university-sponsored work programs that pay directly towards your college tuition rather than coming to you like in pocket. So this goes directly towards paying the tuition that you need to pay for college.
Yeah, and so now we're kind of going to talk a bit more about merit-based financial aid. So this is less based off of your parents and your family's financial situation, and more just about your I guess accomplishments and your sort of I guess qualifications, and how that could sort of translate into money for you to pay for college. So of course there's scholarships like the Zell Miller Hope Foundation Fellows at UGA. So it could be state, like in-state type programs, as well as just institutional specifics like the Foundation Fellows or Stamps Residential at Georgia Tech. So there's a lot of different things to explore there. So definitely look at the state you're in and different scholarships offered through that state. So in Georgia, Zell Miller and Hope are probably the two largest ones and most popular. And then also look at, for your institution specifically, there may be certain alumni scholarships or things like that that you could apply to for varying amounts of money. Some are very easy to apply for and may just be a couple $1,000s, and others may even be full rides. So it's definitely worth looking into and sort of just exploring your options there with what you could get the school to pay for you based on your own qualifications. And again, since this is sort of merit-based and it's not really a loan, it's more of a reward, it does not need to be paid back.
All right, so the FAFSA. This is one of the main forms that you'll need to fill out to be considered for financial aid. And there's a number of materials that you'll need to fill out the FAFSA. You'll need things like your social security number, your parents' social security number, driver's license, alien registration number if you're not a US citizen, federal tax information or tax returns, including the IRS W-2. And this is mainly so that the institution can kind of see what your financial situation is. And IRS 1040, foreign tax returns, and basically any records of any type of income, assets, or anything that has to do with your financial situation at that moment. And you would want to fill out this FAFSA with a parent or guardian because the FAFSA is looking at your household as a whole when looking at your financial situation for college. So it's not just about you as a student and what kind of small jobs you may have had or jobs you may have held in high school or in the past. It's more about looking at your household situation and everyone in there.
Yeah, and just to add to that real quick, the reason we kind of emphasize the fact that you need to fill this out with a parent and guardian or guardian is because your parents are obviously busy people, so are you. And when you're trying to meet deadlines like this, it's not very good to tell your parents at the last minute that, oh, I need this done by tomorrow night to, make the deadline. It's very, very important, especially if you're involving a parent or guardian who's likely also has a busy schedule, that you tell them beforehand in order to align your schedule so you actually have a time where you could get things done in an accurate manner and fill these forms out before your deadline and not kind of be in a rush to reach those. So yeah, we'll go on to individual school applications. So the FAFSA is kind of a blanket financial statement, and it kind of just gives each college an idea about like where your family stands, where your household stands. But some schools might want additional information, and so it could include, I don't know, previous year's federal income tax, W-2, bank asset paperwork, stock accounts, investments like that. So just additional paperwork that may not, I guess, be as clear in the FAFSA or provide like more details than the FAFSA does. So again, this could vary very widely based on whatever college or university you're filling out a form for. But this is also something you do need to keep in mind on your task list that, okay, it's not just the FAFSA, I also need to fill out individual schools and what they may require from you.
All right, so the CSS profile. The CSS profile is another form that you'll need to fill out when applying for financial aid to different colleges. This form was created by the College Board to help colleges determine the financial status and ability for families to pay for college. So this profile is actually a little bit more in detail and a little bit different from the FAFSA, but it has about kind of the same goal so that colleges can get an understanding of your family's financial situation. So this form is not required by all colleges, but most require it to be considered for financial aid. So if you're planning on applying to many schools, there's a very, very high chance that you will need to fill out this form as well. There is some overlap, but we would recommend, just as we were talking about with the FAFSA, these forms require a lot of different paperwork and a lot of different things. So talk with your parents and make sure that you guys are filling this out before the deadlines, because it is really important when schools look at you and consider you for their financial aid.
Awesome. Yeah, and we also have, I guess, more specific guidelines on how to get merit-based financial aid. So again, like we talked about before, look at all the university scholarship programs and apply for those. The two biggest ones, as I mentioned before, are Foundation Fellows at UGA, which is essentially a full scholarship, as well as comes with a lot of perks involving study abroad and other research opportunities. Stamps Presidential Scholarship is also a full ride, and you also get perks with that as well at Georgia Tech. And other universities may have programs like that too. Emory has something similar. I think their Woodruff Scholars Program or something of the sort. But in-state or not, it's definitely worth looking at programs like these because they could seriously help your financial situation and make going out of state even more affordable than going in-state if you get a full scholarship somewhere else. So yeah, definitely a good thing to look at university scholarship programs. And there's also a ton of third-party scholarships. These could be for, I guess, the most random things. Like, I don't know, they have like firefighters, like importance scholarships and stuff where you just write about like why firefighters are important. And they have like a ton of these different opportunities, which not a lot of people apply for, surprisingly. And if you could crank out an essay in, I don't know, 45 minutes, it could seriously be worth it. Because these could range from anywhere between $250 to $10,000 worth of scholarships. And some will go directly to your university when you attend. Others will have the check addressed directly to you, so you have more direct discretion on how you use it. But there's a ton of websites that could sort of help connect you to these seemingly random scholarships. And there's just a plethora of them. There's so many. So it is helpful to, get a subscription like in your email to be notified of these different scholarships or things like that, just to kind of keep up with it. So that's why you kind of introduce these third-party scholarship websites that sort of compile all of these different scholarship opportunities together and kind of find the ones that would fit most with your profile. So you can make an account with any of these. Scholarships.com is good, Niche, FastWeb, and then College Board as well. I know FastWeb is what I signed up for, but they gave me almost like a daily digest of like scholarships that you could apply for. And again, very random. Some involve no effort at all, just like signing up for something, and others will require you to do an essay. But in the end, if you have time on your hands and you need the money and you're not really looking into doing a loan or something like that, and you just want free money, which is always great, and I think everyone should be interested in that. These are great websites to go to kind of spend a little time on it and then actually get a good reward out of the work that you're doing. And yeah, here's some information about financial aid, or sorry, financial aid was not the word I was looking for, our private counseling. So we could sort of help guide you through the college applications process, including the financial aid application process. So we have different packages for these. So we have, I'll let Ayush describe this slide since we're alternating.
Yeah, of course. So as Maya was mentioning, we have so many different packages to help people that need help with different things. We have our essay writing package where we help brainstorm essays with you guys. We'll have 3 brainstorming sessions to decide your essay topics for both the Common App essay and a bunch of different college supplemental essays. We'll even go through 2 rounds of revision with you. So we'll look over your essays and give you feedback for up to 5 of them to really help you improve your essays. We also have the application creation package where we, again, brainstorm with you guys and have guidance sessions so that we can best lay out your activities, describe your activities, get recommendation letters, get your test scores all squared away, and really just help you fill out that Common App to the best of your ability so that you can show the best version of you on that application. We also have packages for BSMD programs. So we have the BSMD writing package where we get on and brainstorm with you to talk about which essay topics we could talk about to appeal to these BSMD programs. And we will look at the supplementals and brainstorm different topics for those as well. And of course, We will revise them and give you feedback on all of these essays to make sure that all of these essays are written to the best of your ability. At the same time, we have a package for interview help. So a lot of different colleges will send representatives over to interview you so that you can get a better sense of the university and the university can get to know you as an individual. And we can help prepare you for these college interviews so you have a lasting impression on the interviewer and make sure that the university gets to know you the best of your ability.
Yeah, and so we also have sort of aggregate packages, which include a lot of the packages that I just talked about. And so we have first our complete package, which you get help building your college list, which we actually have a webinar introducing kind of basics on. We also offer individualized Google Calendar task management. So we basically compile all of your deadlines and different tasks and when they need to be done by, and put them all into a Google Calendar that we share with you. So you get reminders on completing these tasks in a timely manner, so you don't miss any deadlines, which I think is arguably one of the most difficult parts of the college application process, is just managing and organizing all of your deadlines. So that's a wonderful help to you. It does the bulk of the work for you. We also will help you planning out your extracurriculars. So I guess how to frame things in a favorable way on your different application platforms. And so what extracurriculars to include, what not to include, things like that. We also help you getting letters of recommendations from your teachers, so kind of helping you strategize which teachers would be best to go to, and where you could sort of play on your strengths based on what teachers you asked. We also, like Ayush talked about, you get that essay writing package included, the application creation package included, 2 interview prep sessions, as well as financial aid and scholarship guidance. So as we talked about today, financial aid and scholarships are a pretty big topic, and it's kind of a hard hurdle to cross, especially alone. So through our guidance, we could help you kind of navigate through the FAFSA, filling out your CSS profile, as well as any individual's applications for financial aid that your university may throw at you, as well as directing you towards good scholarships, especially prestigious ones that may be third-party or university-based, and strategies for applying to those. And then we also have a BSMD analog of that complete package, which includes more BSMD-specific items. So we help creating a BSMD program list, make education planning for pre-med. That Google Calendar task management is there for BSMD as well. You get help planning out your BSMD tailored extracurriculars, getting those recommendation letters, again, the BSMD essay writing package, the application creation package, and then 2 interview prep sessions, as well as your financial aid and scholarship guidance. So those are kind of the basics of our packages. You could see more information on our website as well as scheduling an initial consultation to get just more information about you and see what packages could suit you the best. So as far as steps to take now, you should understand scholarships, grants, loans, kind of look into things. Again, the deadlines for these, as we showed you in the timeline, start in November-ish. So looking into the requirements, making sure your parents are kind of aware of these things is a great way of starting out during the summer. Again, you could look into private counseling on our website and just explore your different options in college in general, not just financial aid. And just take it easy. It's summer, and it's a good time to recoup, relax for the work that you'll be doing next year for your college application process. And if you need to contact us in any way, here's our email as well as our website with more information, and feel free to shoot us an email if you're interested in any of the private counseling, as well as schedule an initial consultation on our website. All right, thank you.